Hey, it's Molly. Have you had stage fright? Have you had that moment? It doesn't have to be if you're a performer. It doesn't have to be if you're on stage. That moment where you know you need to do something and you sit in the fear of like, I can't do it, right? Whatever it is. It can be on a live video. It can be going to a networking event, like that moment when you're in the car ready to get out and you kind of want to throw up. When you're like totally freaked out about moving into something new. It can be when you're like going, I always say it can be like going on a first date. It can be like, stepping onto the stage. It can be stepping onto the stage, but it doesn't have to be. It can be before you get onto a sales call. It can be before you even like tell your friend about your business. It can be all of these things when it's high stakes and you're in a place where you need to step into the mode of performance like you would on the stage, right? As a performer. Yay! Carrie says, that's me. I know it's scary. Hi, Tiffany. So it's one of the like core things that I have been able to translate from the world of performance, having worked as a professional performer for bajillions of years, and translated into being a business owner. It's one of the things that is the most common across all platforms, is the fact that we all get freaked out. We all get that little bit of stage fright. I am at a sales retreat right now, and it's so funny because Jennifer Deep Stratton, this coach that I work with, who's amazing, she's talking all about performance. This whole weekend has been about performance, and I'm like, dude, this is so good, because it's exactly what I talk about. It's exactly what, I have a book, you guys, I have a book called Performance Power that really dives into this. And so today I wanted to come on and share with you one mega tip on our Fearless Friday about stage fright. So here's the thing. I want to know also if this has happened to you, if you have felt this way, because I know you have. And if you're willing to admit it, that you have felt the experience of stage fright, I want to know below. And then here is what I want you to do. It's important to be prepared. It's important to know what you have to offer. It's important to know, your branding is on point and the message that you deliver is valuable. That's all really important. But nothing is more important than actually moving into action. Actually moving into action. And as a performer, there's this thing called marking it. Do you know what that means? If you were in dance classes when you were a little kid, you may have heard it. It's like when you're going to do a turn, right? So if I was going to prep and do a turn, right? If I was going to mark it, I would go like this. I would prep for my turn, and then I would just hold it. And my hands would be like here, and I go bump, 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 as if I did 5 turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did you see those 5 turns? No, I didn't see them either because I was marking it. Are you marking it in your business, or are you going full out? If you make the choice that you want to do something in your business, you have to go full out. Because if you don't, if you live in this place of like, I'm going to kind of do it, and you step onto the stage in like a wishy-washy way where you're kind of doing it, there's one thing that's sure, you're going to live in a place of regret because you're going to be like, oh, I didn't really give it my all. And you're not going to either have an epic success or an epic failure. Better to fail epically than it is to fail halfway and wish you had actually tried a little bit harder to get that success. Right? Tiffany says, I never feel prepared enough. So that's something that we've been talking about here. And it's so funny to me because my business is called The Prepared Performer. But if you stay in the preparing, nothing will ever happen. My dad has a huge company. It's a municipal tree trimming company, kind of random. And I have looked back on everything that he has taught me in growing this gigantic business. He's such an awesome businessman who didn't go to college. He just worked his booty off as an entrepreneur. And it's awesome to learn from him. And one of the things that he's taught me is it will never be finished. You have to launch at some point. And the coolest thing, and I talk to my clients about this all the time, the coolest thing is that once you launch it, that's when you start to learn how to make it really, really good, because you get the feedback from the people who you're serving. And you're like, oh yeah, I never thought of that. I should tweak it a little bit. But if you don't actually step onto the stage, do it scared, and perform, like step into action in your business, even if it's just on a phone call, even if it's just in sending a Facebook message to someone, you're not going to be able to have the epic success that you deserve. It's just like clear, black and white, right there. Be epic. Yes. All right. That is my advice for today is, yes, you have to prepare, but then you've got to do it. Carrie says the moment my mind goes blank in the moment. Okay. So Carrie, I promise you the more that you do it, and then that also proves to you maybe there's something else you need to do in your prep, but you couldn't have found that out unless you tried to do it. So then that's where the place comes in that you get help, because Carrie says she prepares, but then in the moment her mind goes blank. So there's some other things that you probably need in your prep time. Crystal, I love you. You guys, I'm supposed to be talking to Crystal in just a second. We've been playing phone tag. I'll call you as soon as I'm done with this now. Carrie says she's working on it. Yahoo! So one other little thing that I'm going to add that Jennifer has been so good about sharing with us here today is it doesn't matter what the reason, she's calling them reasons instead of excuses, which I kind of like, because I always talk about excuses. But there are valid reasons. Like the fear that you'll go blank is a valid reason, Carrie. It's super valid. But I want to give you one little trick that I learned at a meditation retreat in college. Random. But when those fears come up, or when the yeah buts is what I call them, the yeah buts, the reasons, the excuses, whatever they are, those things that block us from moving forward, when those come up, don't fight them. Don't be like, oh, I shouldn't be thinking that, right? Stop shoulding yourself. See them as a bubble. There's this little bubble, like oh, I went blank. Pop the bubble with a feather. So it's like, there's a little bubble, boop, pop it, it's a feather, it goes away. Because when you're in that moment when you go blank, if you view that as a bad thing and you try to like attack it, I've gone blank like twice in a gig before. One time it was really bad and there was someone important in the audience and I literally could not think of what the words were. And I just stood there like a weirdo not knowing what to sing. And when that happens, if you fight it, it's going to get worse. But if you can like recognize it and release it, pop it with a bubble, or even admit it to your audience, like, oh my gosh, I totally went blank, and then check your notes and come back, right? Be real, be authentic, be you, and do it gracefully and with joy. It'll actually, those little moments where you fail, right? When your plan fails or when the thing that you set out to do fails, those little moments can actually be gifts. They can be better, right? Better than anything else. All right, today, that's all I wanted to do was just share with you that this is something that's powerful for you. Do it scared. If this is important and you like this message, I would love you guys to share this video because I am on a mission to help more people to unlock their inner awesome, to elevate it, and then to be able to share their real goodness with the world. You don't need to be stuck in the place of stage fright. You can step into your own spotlight, whatever that means to you, and move into the next step